society made people in love with credit cards and status rather than appearance. So anyway, it's a huge problem, and I'm trying to fix it because it's fixable. It's just that no one really had put a thought into it, and I have a valid solution, even creating data. And if you Google our government recently, you will see that last year it was killed on the news. It was showing that there's zero accountability, no data, and no idea how they're spending the money. Just saying.
Oh, and have you reached, you reached out also to Donald Trump's administration. Have you gotten back any response from Donald Trump's administration?
Welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal podcast. I have some very vital information, some fresh new information, some breaking news information that has never before been shared on any podcast or media, probably only on Twitter. But it is the first time you are going to hear of a groundbreaking, innovative program that is geared towards ending homelessness. This is not an ad. This is the Neoliberal podcast. This is an episode that will talk about an upcoming episode where we will feature a gentleman by the name of Claudio Bono. Claudio Bono, who has an innovative program to end homelessness. In fact, I have said that, I never thought about it. But here we have a young man with an innovative plan that cuts homelessness without burdening the budget. All this Trump disruption provides an opportunity to hear solutions that we would not have heard about. New programs must replace tired old ones. New programs must replace tired old ones that drag out social ills and the burden on the public without providing solvable solutions that work. Cutting social programs may actually work. Let me say that again. Cutting social programs may actually work. I never thought I would ever say that, but it may actually work. As it forces to become, why am I saying that? Because it forces to become more creative and effective in addressing social challenges that usually lead to more social programs. But it has to be done in a way that involves a process that does not shock the system. So hopefully we can have Bono Claudio on the show to discuss later. And I actually spoke with him yesterday, and we decided that we're going to have a show. He was going to come on later on. We're going to do we're going to do it in video, and it's going to also be done available in audio. So this particular episode, we're talking about this groundbreaking news that involves a solution. It's really a solution that that gentleman is offering that no one has ever thought about, which may actually work. Now, Claudio Bono tweeted yesterday, and he's verified on Facebook, on Twitter, sorry, and I believe he has a relatively good following of over 30,000 people. And he's an executive in a township in Cupertino, and also an executive in a Silicon Valley company. I think he works as a general manager at a hotel. He works in the hotel industry. He's a hotelier. But he said recently, I applaud, and I spoke with him yesterday. But he said, I applaud, and this is why I reached out to him. He said, I applaud real Donald Trump for cutting funding to the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness. I was mad when I saw that, but I read it. I continued reading. He said, listen, actually you have to hear him out. He says, it's a system that simply doesn't work. Homelessness is a crisis that demands bold action, and the status quo has failed us. He said, take California as proof. $37 billion spent over 6 years, and the problem only worsened. The excuses are polished, but the results expose a $1 billion sham. I've proposed a solution, one that's innovative and ready to go. At givearoof.org, we're leveraging loyalty points and airline miles to generate potentially $25 billion a year to end homelessness. It's a sustainable funding model that bypasses traditional government spending or fundraising. According to Claudio, he says, I've pitched this to Gavin Newsom and many other state representatives, but got no response besides, wow, so innovative. Journalists haven't picked it up either. Why? This idea is fresh, maybe too fresh for those stuck in old ways. He goes on to say that after 11 years volunteering in nonprofits, and he's volunteered in nonprofits for over 11 years, he says, I know this can work fast. Imagine, points and miles converted into real resources, housing services. Sorry, let's say that again. He says, imagine points and miles converted into real resources, housing, services, jobs. It's not just money in a bucket, it's a pipeline to solutions. And he says, I'm calling on our president and not only Donald Trump, but he's also calling on Elon Musk and Dodge to hear him out, and America. He says, disruptive ideas deserve a shot, and I'm ready to present a full realistic plan. Tell me when and where I'll show up. Enough with spending money with zero results. I can't believe elected officials have never really thought about how to fix this. Why hasn't this been covered? Why hasn't this been covered? He asks. Good question, he answers himself. He says, if there's a mafia blocking progress, it's exposed. Let's expose it with results. Again, he says, if there's a mafia blocking progress, and he has mafia in inverted commas, let's expose it with results. Not just words. I do have receipts. DM me to learn more. Let's end homelessness together. Please share and repost. Thank you, Claudio Bono, and he is a man of action. And by the way, I spoke with him. We reached out to him. He responded right away, and we've been speaking. And I actually have him on the show. I spoke with him yesterday. We recorded a bit of it for you, and I have him here talking a little bit, just about 10 minutes, some more about what he's talking about, what he's getting at. But later on this week and next week, we'll have a full 1 hour show delving deeper into some of this and asking some more pointed questions. But here is Claudio. Here is Claudio talking with me yesterday about this groundbreaking, innovative program that aims to end homelessness.
Society, we are in love with credit cards and status rather than appearance. So anyway, it's a huge problem, and I'm trying to fix it because it's fixable. It's just that no one really had put a thought into it, and I have a valid solution, even creating data. And if you Google our government Newsom, you will see that last year they was killed on the news. It was showing that there's zero accountability, no data, and no idea how they're spending money. Just saying.
Oh, and you reached out also to Donald Trump's administration. Have you gotten back any response from Donald Trump's administration?
.7 million views, thousands upon thousands and thousands of retweets. So algorithm-wise, it should reach Elon Musk, Doge, someone at the administration, and
I know you're pitching it. So you're pitching this idea to California, but what about places like in Philadelphia, where we do have a.
But
Okay.
this is fixable
Okay.
throughout the entire United States.
Have you tried it? Have the plan that you have you actually tried it anywhere? Or have you seen it? Have you seen it work anywhere?
Yes, I should start step by step, but I have to tell you, mayors or local council members are unresponsive because they simply don't know what to do and how to.
So, but you're
So,
okay. So you're a general manager. You're saying, and your proposal is that you want to propose to leverage loyalty miles and points, and use the money that you've generated from that towards generating billions of dollars per year to and giving it towards homelessness programs, projects, and ending homelessness. Yes.
yes.
Okay, so you as a general manager and a professional, you are for that, but there are other people in the industry. But you have lots of hurdle. I mean, do you how are you going to get a buy-in from the other hotel the other people in your industry?
Let's say I'm homeless and I am groomed and I'm clothed and I look the part. Do you think that any front desk at any hotel will have an issue with me checking in? The answer is no.
Right, correct.
So, appearance is everything.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's about showcasing an untapped resource. We're living in an era where Doge is removing billions of dollars of taxpayers' money, which is the case in California, $37.8 billion used in 6 years. And here I am. 37, I should do a little calculation. Let me see. Calculator quickly just to prove a point here.
Yeah.
37 divided by 6. They're spending about $6 billion a year in California for the past 6 years, and I'm proposing to generate $25 billion.
Oh
So
wow.
it would be that and expand throughout the entire United States and ensure that the millions of people that are unhoused are actually fully housed.
How
So
how will they be how does your program allows a state to generate 26 billion instead of $6 billion? This is quite remarkable.
well, California is the fifth largest state, the most powerful state in the world. The GDP is before California is Germany. So California is one of the hugest machine here that is very profitable. And so it's good to use California compared to other states because it does much better than New York or Texas combined.
Okay, okay, I see what you mean. And in terms of the sorry, go ahead.
Last but not least, there is a deficiency in nonprofits. They are not unified. As I am a city commissioner, and I provide um, advisory council to our council members as far as grants. Last week we identified 15 companies to give them money. And the problem that I see doing that as the city commissioner is that there's zero unification between nonprofits. So there should be a database that needs to be created, an IT system linking all nonprofits together. So one food bank can see how much inventory they have. The other ones can find out as well. They could help themselves. I give money to people that provide free haircut, free dental hygiene, free clothing, and free shoes, and free classes. We need to unify them so that if we create the kind of what I call airline lounge where we would be able to welcome all the in-house and have them stay underneath, then we can work on their resume, we can work on their transportation, we can and unify nonprofits for which they are getting tons of millions of dollars of grants from every city and
Yeah.
offset that by assisting them. So there I have a full plan to eradicate homelessness for good.
Wow, you how were you able? And what city are you in? You're in Cupertino. Ah, Silicon Valley. Oh wow, wow! I gotta come out there. I've never been there before. I gotta come out there. I gotta have lunch with you one of these days.
Oh, yes. Where do you live? Where do you live?
I am in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I lived in Philadelphia for 18 months on Cater Street, south of South Streets in downtown Philadelphia.
Ah, I know that area very well. I work in Center City. I've also lived in Old City, and I've lived in South City in on the south side of the Philly city as well. So,
Yeah,
oh,
I
nice.
was living also up to a point. They used to have MTV Crib where they used to have their televised something that is happening in one of the houses in Center City. And I was living one block away from there,
Ah,
so that was pretty nice.
that is
I
still
I gotta tell you,
yes,
I've been serving food in homeless shelters for the past 11 years through the Rotary. I
yes.
was always volunteering my time. And for instance, you realize that there are missing bunk beds. And I asked multiple mayors, why isn't there any bunk beds that could double the capacity of the number of unhoused? And they told me that this is controlled by the states, and even mayors of cities were shackled and not being able to even assist in that capacity. So and you have to picture it as a ground floor with a 5 or 6 exits with no second floor. So even that shouldn't be a fire violation. It's just the capacity that is not well used for what it's supposed to be. So it's really terrible. The current status on how one can think of how what is the government doing is not well thought out. It's not. You see that it's a mafia where people are getting paid and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, yeah. What's the title of your new book? Is it published yet?
I'm going through the motion, so in less than 3 weeks, I'll be able to tell you all about it.
Please, I would love to have you back on the yeah, and we can do a Zoom thing and have you on the show and talk about it and talk about homelessness. I
How many
actually
listeners do you have? I know it's a brand new podcast, but what is your listening circulation thing?
the podcast the podcast we have a YouTube channel. So the podcast is streamed on YouTube as well, but our main platform is Spotify. We don't have a lot of following on Spotify. That's not our although that's our main platform. But our other main platform is YouTube. We have over 23,000 subscribers and
That's nice.
over 60 over half a million viewers.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Good
we
for
have.
you.
Yeah, we're doing very well on YouTube. We also have a Google Ads now. We work with Google Ads. We know how to create visibility on any of our shows, so we can choose what shows we want people to see. So yeah, so say for example, and we put money behind it and we promote it. So yeah, we work with Google Ads as well. We are verified Google advertisers as well. So we are able to promote there. We are on every single stream. We are on iTunes, Apple, and we have
That's very nice.
yeah
That's
we are
very
heard
good. I
all
am
over the world.
thankful.
Yes.
I am thankful to speak with you, and I'm thankful to be able to even for you to consider give me time to speak
Yes.
about that.
We
For sure.
we are all about serving the world today to solve tomorrow's challenges by making popular what was the monopoly. That's when I started this 2021. That was the aim to bring to light stories, effective programs, and solutions that we wouldn't usually hear about. We are grassroots, we're independent, we're non-aligned, and I like promoting solutions like these. Yes.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I strongly believe that our power as Americans or citizens, it's about first and foremost enticing other citizens and spread the word. And
Yes.
from there, miracle can happen. And I think that that's my way of doing it. I've read somewhere that it may take 8 to 10 years advocacy in order to reach some kind of change.
Yes,
on the political spectrum, which is insane.
it is
But
insane.
I
Yes,
won't give up. I continue. I feel like it's a mission to share intelligence, know-how, how to fix issues. But that's the problem in these days, right?
yes,
Everyone has stigma or idea of who or what the unhoused is, and even the homeless itself says, "Don't call me unhoused." People trying to be nice, using nice words to talk about horrible stories, and even we're not calling the unhoused shelter the homeless shelter. You
yes.
know, it just makes no sense.
And
But
just
we
so
live in a society where they're trying to change everything.
yes, that's true. And I actually have a show. I did interview. I know the CEO of. I work with some homeless people here. We have them on the show sometime. We talk about homelessness in America and in Philadelphia. David Fair. He's a big. It's a guru on homelessness. I probably would have to at some point have you connect with him and have you both come on the show and talk about homelessness together. And probably you have some ideas that we could benefit from here in Philadelphia.
As we say, union is power. The
Yes.
more, the merrier.
The more the
I'm
merrier.
always saying yes to you, for sure. Whatever you
Yes.
think is best, I'll follow your guide.
Yes, that would be great. And just so you know, the Neoliberal Run podcast is part of the Neoliberal Corporation. We are a think tank. We're a publishing company, and if you need any guidance and support with your publishing, we can provide the guidance and support for you as well. I'm a publisher. I publish my own books. I have another book that's about to be published coming up towards within about a month from now. We will publish a second book. Myself and Martin Oppenheimer. I went to University of Penn, and I'm at Georgetown now. But we're working on, and he's at Rutgers. We're publishing a book. So, but yeah, yeah,
Are they available on Amazon as well?
yeah, it is available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and the likes worldwide in all platforms. So yes, neoliberalism.
Did you use Publisher AI, or who are you using in order to publish your books? Because I'm in the process of
No,
that.
no, I don't. I don't use Publisher AI at all. I write. I mean, the books is part of my research at and I'm a researcher. I'm a strong researcher at